These latest headlines from ABC15 are sponsored by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorneys. One call, that's all.
Hi there, happy Saturday. I'm Amelia Fabiano with your top stories from ABC15 Arizona this morning. An over 100-year-old building that's part of Gilbert's history is slated for the demolition process. But a last-ditch effort to preserve and restore this historic home extended the deadline to the 11th hour. The Clare house sits along Gilbert Road, and since 1918, the Clare family ran a sheet metal shop for the farming community for decades. They also brought the first Methodist church to town, started Gilbert's first band, and the entire town was invited to the 70th wedding anniversary for Forrest and Frona Clare. Decades later, the site became Bergie's Coffee. That site is now slated to become a pizzeria by day and nightclub by night, known as Bottled Blonde. The town's historical society, though, is trying to move the Clare house about a mile down the road.
Our plan is to open it as an exhibit space so that it has to be made accessible to the public, which right now it's not set up for that.
The deadline for demolition was this upcoming Monday, but we learned late Friday that has been extended until August 1st. The efforts to save the Clare house have already raised over $20,000, but they still need to raise more than $112,000. In our Border Watch today, migrant border arrests continue to drop over a month after President Biden's executive order limiting access to asylum. Border Patrol agents in the Tucson sector say the new order has been a big help, with apprehensions down over 60%. The decrease has put more agents back on the line, doing more enforcement rather than giving rides to give up groups.
If you elect to come here unlawfully, you are presumed to be ineligible for asylum. And that is to discourage people from using the criminal organizations, paying money to the criminal organizations to come here, use a lawful pathway.
Even though numbers are down, the Tucson sector still leads all 9 southern border sectors in total apprehensions, with over 400,000 this fiscal year. Now to a health alert today. 2 people have died from hantavirus in Coconino County. So far, 3 cases have been reported in the past 15 months, including those 2 deaths. Coconino County's last reported hantavirus case was in 2016. The state has seen a recent spike in activity, though. From the beginning of the year to July 1st, there have been 7 human cases of hantavirus pulmonary syndrome, an illness caused by the virus, resulting in those 3 deaths in Arizona. The virus is spread from rodents to people through airborne transmission. It's not spread by human-to-human contact. Early voting is underway in Arizona for this month's primary election, but that's not stopping Republican Senate candidate Kari Lake from asking the Arizona Supreme Court to reverse the 2022 election and declare her the governor. Lake filed a petition for review Thursday, claiming the Superior Court and the Court of Appeals should have reinstated her case because of new evidence that Maricopa County did not conduct the necessary logic and accuracy testing on the vote tabulators. The new evidence claims were rejected, though, in federal court as part of Lake's separate effort to throw out electronic voting machines. And the U.S. Supreme Court refused to consider the matter. ABC15 and Scripps News are committed to covering the presidential race, focusing on important topics to you. This week's focus is on immigration, featuring our own Nick Saletti. Watch Path to the White House tonight at 6:30 right here on ABC15 Arizona. Most accurate forecast on this Saturday. We remain in weather action mode for one more day during this brutal stretch of excessive heat. Our excessive heat warning remains in effect through 8 p.m. tonight. So a reminder, stay heat safe, limit time outdoors, stay hydrated, and seek AC as often as possible. It is not time to let your guard down. I know this has been relentless, but we are almost on the other end of it, at least for a little bit. Today's highs across the state will be in the upper 90s, flirting with hundreds in Payson and Prescott, 115 out west in spots like Lake Havasu and Bullhead cities, 104 in Winslow, 96 in Window Rock. A record heat in Phoenix could continue this afternoon. This morning, though, we were able to drop down to 94 degrees, so we barely dodged that record warm low on this date, but our high of 114 could be a record tire for what we set last year with our record high as well. Tomorrow, storm chances will be in the mix for Phoenix. We'll drop down to 110 and then back up into the 1-teens by the next week. As always, for the latest headlines, weather, and traffic, head to our website, abc15.com, or download that free ABC15 mobile app.
These latest headlines from ABC15 are sponsored by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorneys. One call, that's all.